Okay, this video is going to focus on cubic cube root inverses. So this is the title you want to put on your notes if you're taking notes. And we're just going to start with an example. You've already kind of done this before, but I'm just going to show you how to use it with cubic. Okay, so let's say, for example, you have y equals, I don't know, x plus 2 cubed minus 4. Okay, and we're trying to find the inverse of this. Well, you should know that the inverse is going to be a cube root, which looks something like this up here. Okay, so the little kind of like a square root with the 3. We're going to do that with this, but if you remember from like last semester, there's some steps that we have to do. So before you do anything, we're going to go ahead and switch x and y. So this becomes x equals parentheses y plus 2 cubed minus 4. Okay, and then our goal is to get this y by itself. Okay, so to get the y by itself, I have to get rid of the 2, that little cube, and the minus 4. And when we're trying to solve for a variable, we always start from like the outside in. So I'm going to get rid of the 4 first. So plus 4 plus 4. Okay, that gets rid of it here. And this just becomes x plus 4 is equal to all of this. I just recopied it. So this just kind of comes down. And be careful here because people want to do, for some reason, plus 4x, but that's not correct. So this is x plus 4, so we just write it as x plus 4 horizontally. Okay. Now the next step is to get rid of the little 3. So again, like I mentioned before, the inverse of cubic is this symbol right here, cube root. So we're going to go ahead and cube root both sides. We're going to put that root here and also here, like so. And that gets rid of this piece right here. And we just bring everything down. So this is going to be the cube root of x plus 4 is equal to y plus 2. Okay. And we're almost done. That y is almost by itself, but we have this plus 2. So we're going to get rid of the 2 by subtracting. Minus 2 minus 2. And that leaves us with all of this. Another common mistake is that people will subtract 4 minus 2. Can't do that because this is underneath the root, so we really can't touch it. So it has to stay like how it is. So I'm going to have the cube root of x plus 4 space minus 2 is equal to y. And we're kind of done. I'm just going to write it a little bit nicer since we are talking about inverse. Inverse is notated with that little -1. I don't know if you remember this. You can also do y to the -1. Since we used y, I'm going to go ahead and use y. So my final answer will look like this. Y to the -1 power is equal to all of this. The cube root of x plus 4 minus 2 on the outside. And that's it. That is our inverse for this problem. And if you notice, everything is opposite. So the plus 2 is now minus 2. It's on the outside because it used to be on the inside. The cube became a cube root. And the minus 4 is now a plus 4. Used to be on the outside. Now it's on the inside. Okay. Here's another example, just to kind of add a few more steps to this. Let's say we had something like, I don't know, y equals x minus 8 cubed plus 2. Okay, so I'm going to go through the steps a little bit faster this time. First, we switch x and y. Okay, so all that happened is this became an x, this became a y, and then we're going to try to get rid of everything else so we can get that y by itself. So we're going to get rid of the plus 2 first, so subtract 2 from both sides to get rid of that. We're left with x minus 2 is equal to y minus 8 cubed. Okay, and then we get rid of this, the 3, so let's cube root. That's gone. Bring everything down. And now we just got to get rid of the 8. So plus 8 on both sides. Remember not to actually combine those because we can't. This is inside, this is outside. So we have the cube root of x minus 2 space plus 8 is equal to y. And we're almost done. Just got to write it nicely. So final answer will be the inverse of y, which is that little -1, okay, is equal to the cube root of x minus 2 plus 8 on the outside. Okay, so there's the original and the final answer. And again, this is the inverse of this one. I'm going to do one more example that's a little bit more difficult. Maybe I'll do 2, we'll see. So this one's going to have a fraction in front of it because why not? So let's do 1/2 of x plus 1 cubed. And we'll do minus, I don't know, 5. Okay, by the way, this is page 30 for some of you. For others, it's probably page 29. Okay, so don't worry about this if you're just taking notes. So here's my original. My first step is the same. I'm going to go ahead and switch x and y. So x equals 1/2 y plus 1 cubed minus 5. Okay, now that 1/2 is going to throw some of you off, so let's not focus on it yet. The first thing I want to get rid of is the 5. So plus 5 plus 5, which gives me 0 here. I can cross that out. This is left with x plus 5 is equal to all this, 1/2 y plus 1 cubed. And now I have to worry about the 1/2. Okay, so I know that I have to get rid of this cube root, but since I have another number here, I need to get rid of it. So one way to get rid of 1/2 is to multiply times the reciprocal, which means I'm going to multiply all this by 2/1. So kind of like put it in parentheses, and the same thing over here. And because that 2/1 will cancel the 2's here and the 1's there. Okay, and then we just fix this because this looks like a mess. So let's rewrite this. We should know that 2/1 is the same as 2. So I'm just going to write it a little bit nicer. So it's going to be 2 parentheses x plus 5 is equal to y plus 1 parentheses cubed. And for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna kind of leave this 2. I'm not going to distribute it. You could distribute if you want to, but I'm not going to. So do it similarly to mine if you could. From here, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this 3. So let's cube root that now. So you see from here, it's the same steps as before. This is gone. Bring everything down. So I have the cube root of 2 parentheses x plus 5. So I'm just copying this, okay, is equal to y plus 1. And we have one more step, which is that 1. So let's subtract 1 from both sides to get rid of this. Be careful here because remember the 1 is on the outside, so we're not going to actually combine it here. So I'm left with the cube root of 2 parentheses x plus 5. And then that minus 1 is over here on the side, is equal to y. And we're kind of done. I just need to write it officially. So let's write this as an inverse by putting that little -1 notation. So the cube root of, again, 2 parentheses x plus 5, and then that -1 on the outside. And that is your answer. Let's double check everything. So that 1/2 is now a 2. It used to be on the outside. Now it's on the inside. The plus 1, it was on the inside. Now it's on the outside, and it's a -1. The cube is a cube root. And the -5 is now plus 5. Used to be on the outside, is now on the inside. So we are good to go. And that's it. That's where I'm going to leave it because the video is already kind of long. So just make sure you copy these notes, and I'm going to attach an assignment probably in the same post. Thank you.